There are 5 money rules wealthy parents teach their kids on purpose. Most parents teach none of them. Not because they do not care, because nobody ever handed them the list. These are not feelings or pep talks. There are 5 rules you can set up this week, and I will show you exactly how to do each one. I teach all of the 5 to my daughter Nour, built from the same system I use to run and sell companies, scaled down to a level of a kid. Rule 1. Give every dollar a zone before you spend it. Every dollar that comes in gets a zone before it gets spent. Not after, before. Wealthy families never let money land in one pile, because a single pile has no plan, and money with no plan gets spent. We all know that. So the moment it arrives, it splits into 3 zones. Essentials is the money that keeps life running. For an adult, that's rent, food, bills, utilities, and so on. A kid does not have those yet. You pay them, so you have to create their essentials on purpose. You take one expense, you already pay for them. It can be the school bus, the school lunch, their phone, and you hand them the job of paying it themselves. And here's the key part, the part most people leave unclear. You increase their pocket money by exactly that amount, set aside for that bill. They are not paying it out of their fun money. They are paying it with money you added on top, just for that purpose. They learn to treat it as an essential and pay it first, and live on what's left. What is the fun money? Games, eating out, clothes they want, going out with friends. It is meant to be spent with no guilt, but only what is in this zone. Future me is the money you protect, saving first, then investing. It is the money your future self will thank you for. A simple starting split is 50, 30, 20. Everybody can remember that. 50% essentials, comforts, 20 future me. The exact numbers flex with your life. Splitting before you spend is the part that never changes. Quick one before I show you how to set it up. Drop a comment. What is the first money rule your parents taught you, if any? I will go first. Mine taught me none. That is exactly why Nour gets all 5. Here's why this matters most for a child. Researchers at Cambridge University found that the habits that decide how we handle money are mostly set by about age 7. Not the mass, the wiring. Whether a child can wait, plan, and follow a rule is built in the early years. And children do not learn this from a lecture. They learn it by watching you. When they see money get sorted the second it arrives, every time, that becomes their normal. Here's how you set it up. 1. Pick your 3 zones and starting a split. 50, 30, 20 is a fine place to begin. 2. Give each zone its own home, so the money is physically separate. Essentials in a cash jar, for example. Comforts on a card. Future me in a savings account. Separate homes are what makes this run without a spreadsheet, because the structure does the thinking for you. 3. The moment money lands, split it first before a penny is spent. That's the whole habit. 4. Use clear jars, never a piggy bank, so they watch each zone fill. 5. Call it their paycheck, not their allowance. A gift gets spent, a paycheck gets managed, and a paycheck is earned. So beyond the basics they need, the extra money comes from creating value, like in real life, solving a real problem. Never from chores. Chores are just being part of the family, and paying a child for chores backfires. The research on rewards shows that once you pay them to do something, they often stop the moment the paying stops. At 5, Nour, my daughter, sorted her pocket money into 3 jars without me telling her how. She just copied the system she saw at home. No lecture. She was included, so she could copy. The mistake almost everyone makes is the opposite order. They spend first and try to save whatever is left. Guess what? There is never anything left. Zone first, spend second. That one shift changes everything. Rule 2. Pay future me first, not last. Future me gets paid first, not last. Most people do this backwards. They pay everyone else first, the bills, the shops, the fun, and they save whatever is left at the end of the month. The problem is simple. At the end of the month, there is never anything left. The leftovers are always zero, so they never save. Wealthy families flip the order. Future me gets filled the moment money arrives, off the top, before anything else moves. Saving stops being the thing you might do and becomes the first thing you do. Here's the rule that became part of who Nour is. Nour, my daughter. 20% of everything goes to future me first. And I mean everything. Allowance, birthday money, a gift from a grandmother, money from a relative or a friend, any windfall, any way at all. 20% comes off the top with no exceptions. When a rule has no exceptions, a child stops negotiating with it. It stops being a decision and becomes a reflex. In the early days, hand them the whole money, all of it, in their hand. Then the first thing they do is work out the 20% themselves and give it back into the savings jar. They held the full amount and they chose to protect their future self first. That is pay yourself first made physical. Each month, add a little interest to whatever is in this jar. Even a small amount, 20 becomes 22. Now they watch untouched money quietly become more, and saving stops feeling like a punishment and starts feeling like there is a reward. And you do not need to be a finance expert to teach this. In one large survey, kids whose parents simply talked about money every week were nearly twice as likely to say they are smart about money. 68% against 36%. It is the repetition that does it, not one perfect lecture. So with Nour, future me comes off the top every single time. She learned the money she saves is not money she cannot spend. It is money she's handing to future Nour. If this is useful, subscribing tells YouTube to show you the next family money video. That is the only reason I mention it. Back to the rules. Rule 3. When the comforts money is gone, the month is done. No top-ups, no advances, no just this once. This is the rule almost every parent breaks. The fun money runs out. On the 20th, the child wants something and the parent quietly tops it up. It feels kind. It quietly teaches the most expensive lesson of all, that money is endless and someone will always cover you. The empty zone is not the problem. The empty zone is the whole lesson. A child who runs out and has to wait learns more in that one moment than in 100 lectures. And this is backed by something every teacher will tell you. Knowing about money does not change what you do with it. People ace the finance classes and still end up in debt because the class taught knowledge and the behavior was never practiced. The learning does not live in the talk, it lives in the limit. Here's how you make the limit enforce itself. So you are never the bad guy. Put the comfort zone on a card and load it once for the month. A debit card simply stops working the moment the account hits zero. Simple. A credit card mostly lets you set a spending limit right in the banking app, and the card declines at that limit. Either way, the card says no for you. There's nothing to argue about. The structure said no. Not you. And a real catch parents hit, many banks will not give a card to your young child. Depending on where you live, a 12-year-old may simply be refused and not be eligible. The workaround for me was fairly simple. Put a debit card in your own name and give it to your child to use for comforts. Same lesson, no permission needed. That's exactly what we did. Money has gone invisible, so this is harder than it was for us. A study this year gave children real debit cards, and most of them spent it inside a video game. They called the game money scary because they could not tell what it was worth in real money. When money is just a tap or a coin on a screen, the feeling of spending disappears. A card that runs dry puts that feeling back. Nour once told me, "Papa, I wanted to buy this thing, but it would have emptied my whole comforts for the whole month, so I waited." That one sentence is worth more than any lecture I could have given her. The limit taught her, not me. That is the 3 of the 5. Most parents stop here at spending. The next 2 are where saving turns into real money. Rule 4. Saved money gets a job too. Saved money is not meant to just sit there. Money that sits still slowly loses value to rising prices, for example. Inflation is the devil. So saved money gets a job. It goes to work and it grows. Saved money splits in 2. Some of it stays as cash on purpose as an emergency fund for the surprises that life holds for us. The rest goes to work, invested for growth. A child who learns to keep a cash cushion and invest the surplus at the same time has learned something most adults never get right. With Nour, this began with a question. By 10, she had saved up a little, and she asked the question every parent waits for. Papa, what do I do with the money I'm saving? It is just sitting there. That is the exact moment a child stops following instructions and starts thinking like an owner. Here's how a child actually invests, including the part nobody tells you. A 12-year-old cannot legally open their own brokerage account, of course. So they invest under yours. And if you don't have one, you better make one. Their money, their choices, held under your account. Nour put hers into low-cost index funds. ETFs, the boring, sensible kind, not lottery tickets. To make it real and safe at the same time, the experience lived on her own phone. A free app, Yahoo Finance, where she built her own portfolio with pretend cash, bought stocks and ETFs, and watched it move. Green on good days, red on bad ones. That red is the most valuable part. A child who has watched her money drop and then watched it recover has learned the one lesson that wrecks most grown adults. Do not panic and do not sell. Here's why any of this is worth the effort. A saving account today pays under 1%. The stock market over the long run has paid around 7%. That gap is everything. Put 7,000 to work one time at 16, leave it completely alone, and by retirement is worth over 100,000. Do that every year and it passes $1 million. That is not luck. That is compound interest and time doing the work. Nour owned 2 S&P 500 ETFs before she was even a teenager. Not from a worksheet, from her own money, doing its job while she watched it grow. If you're getting value from this, a quick like helps other parents find it too. No pressure either way. Rule 5. The family runs the system together. This last one, most parents get completely backwards. Money is not a secret the adults keep behind a closed door. It is a system the whole family runs out loud and together. Over half of families never talk about money at home. About a third grew up with money as a subject you simply did not raise. That silence is the gap. A child does not learn money from a lecture they never get. They learn it from a system they watch run every day in the open. And let me tell you, waiting is costly. Most parents do not start until their child is around 15, which is, the research shows, years too late. By then the habits are already set and you do not wait for the talk. You run the system in front of them from the start. Pick one time each month. Sit down together, check one simple thing. Did the 3 zones hold? Did essentials cover the bills? Did comfort last the month? Did future me get paid first? Let the child report on their own zones. Some months, let them run the whole meeting. And each person, parents included, names one money win from the whole month. That can be a subscription you canceled, a bill you lowered, a time they waited instead of buying. Wins build momentum and they make money feel like a team sport, not a telling off. We run ours on the money map method, kind of like a sat-nav for your family's money. The whole family follows the same route. That was the whole shift for me. I stopped trying to teach my daughter about money. I just included her in our own family money runs. She was not being taught at, she was running the system with us. That is when it finally stuck. So there they are, 5 rules. Give every dollar a zone before you spend it. Pay future me first. When the fun money is gone, the month is done. Saved money gets a job and the family runs the system together. The wealthy teach their kids all 5. Most parents teach none. Tonight, you can teach all 5. You do not need to be rich to do this. I was not when I started. You just need the list, and now you have it. I put all 5 on one page with the jar labels, the card setup, and the monthly check-in. In the free guide, it's called The First Brick, and the link is right under this video in the description. And if you want the next step, watch this one, How to Teach Kids About Money at Every Age, 5, 10, 13, 16. I will see you there.